Hey guys. All right, I'm trying to see what's going on. Let me test this out because I have never gone live on here before. And I was trying to turn it to be landscape, and then the thing basically forced me to do portrait. So let me just see what's happening here. But hopefully I'll have some people joining me shortly. Okay, so if I turn it, what happens? This is my orientation is locked. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do it up and down. And that's annoying because I definitely would have changed the way that my stand was set up. So let me adjust my stand really quick and then I will be ready for you guys. But I'm going to be over here looking at comments and stuff. So tell me, say hello. I'm going to adjust my stand really quick. I see people getting on, but say hello. Let me know your name, where you guys from, and I'm going to adjust my stand. All right, I'm back now. And I am super cozy. I got my blanket and stuff, so you know it's gonna be a real talk because I'm just chilling, you guys. Okay, let me see if I can put my little stand up. I'm trying to be somewhat together here. And then if I'm looking down, I'm just reading the comments because I have my computer. Hi, Patricia. I apologize for this like all over the place beginning. I've never gone live on YouTube before, but I figured it would be a fun way to celebrate. Hey! Thank you so much for getting on. Thank you for the support. So much. Okay, and then let me know if there's any weird connection issues or anything like that, you guys. Let me know. Up from Philly. Oh, wow, cool. I have a lot of family in Philly. My dad is from there, so we used to go there all the time as kids, but I have not been there in some years, but I love Philly. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna do one more thing to just make sure we're all good. And then again, let me know if you guys have any issues with the connection at all. And then we're gonna get into the topic that I have been talking about all week. I appreciate you guys hopping on and joining me. I don't wanna keep you too long, but at the same time, I do feel like this is an important topic and I'm just excited to be at 1,000 subscribers. It feels so good and I'm just happy to be able to celebrate this moment with you guys. This was a goal of mine that I set at the beginning of the year. I really wanted to do it. I definitely fell off for sure after a couple of months because I just kind of, sometimes you just get burnt out with things. And then I finally was just like, okay, I can do this. And then I started getting really consistent in, I think it was May. And yeah, from there, I basically just grew the channel and here I am at 1,000 subscribers. So I'm so excited. This is just going to be a real talk. And of course, I'm going to be doing the giveaways throughout this. Most of them will probably be towards the end, but I might do one or two in the middle. I'll kind of tell you guys a little bit of what I'm going to be giving away since I'll see if a few more people get on and then we'll get started maybe in about a couple minutes because I think it's just now 6 or I don't know. My computer is like frozen, so that's interesting. But anyway, so basically, I have a couple of things I'm giving away. So one of the things I'm giving away is this shirt. This is the First Come Self-Love shirt. This was in one of the past boxes, a couple boxes ago. I love this shirt. I wear this shirt all the time. It's one of my favorite ones. So someone is going to win one of these tonight. I'm also giving away a $15 shop credit. So that will be really good. You'll be able to shop some stuff. I have some really good stuff coming out. If you guys have been following along, you know I'm coming out with new stuff every Friday. So the shop credit will be really good to use for some of that stuff, of course, or some of the stuff that I have in there already. And then I also have these 3 little kind of notebook sets. So it's 3 different notebooks. I picked out some of my favorite ones that I have in stock, but this is kind of like this Mother's Script one. Hi, thank you for joining so much. I think you just subscribed recently, so thank you. You're one of the reasons why I have hit 1,000, so thank you. I'm just going over some of the giveaway stuff. So this will be one of them, and it's just a pen, a little notebook, and this cute little journaling card that says, I will rise above the rough moments. And then on the back it says, this mountain doesn't define me. It's only part of my journey. And that's actually going to be very important for this topic that we're talking about, because there's a lot of rough moments, but it's only part of our journey. And then this is another one. This is a notebook. It's a Planner Love notebook that I picked out. Same little thing here. Hi from Vegas. I've never been to Vegas, but I would love to go there. It's definitely on my list of places to visit. So you have to tell me what's some of the good places to go. And then I Totally Got This is another favorite notebook of mine. So that is going to be I think that's, you guys tell me, is that 5 giveaway things? So throughout, the way you'll be able to win will be random. A lot of it will be just paying attention to the stuff that I'm saying, and then I'll kind of quiz you and see if you were paying attention. One may be guessing a number or something like that, and then maybe one will be kind of like the Stationary Muse trivia. You know, for those of you guys that have been following me for a little bit, I'm sure you'll be able to answer some of the questions. It won't be anything super difficult. If you watch my videos, then you'll definitely be able to answer any question I ask you for sure. So I'm going to get started with the topic because I don't want to keep you guys all day, and I really wanted to get into it. But again, I just wanted to say thank you for the support again for 1,000 subscribers. I truly, truly appreciate it. So, all right. So the topic for tonight is dealing with disappointment. And the thing about disappointment to me, if I had to give it like a definition, I would definitely say that it is, and if I'm looking down, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my comments back up so I can see what you guys are saying on my computer. I would definitely say that it is when you have your hope and your expectations and you have it all set up for something or someone, and then it falls short, basically. It falls short of your expectations or what you hoped for, what you believed, what you prayed for. And I think that no matter who we are, we all go through disappointment in a lot of different ways in our lives. It looks different for some of us. Some of us deal with it more often than others. But at the end of the day, I think at some point or another, we all deal with disappointment, and we all have our own, what I kind of feel like our own relationship with disappointment. So I feel like the way that we react to it, the way that we move forward from it, and even in a sense, the way that we prepare for it, because I think that a lot of it comes from when we have something in mind that we want to do, and then it's kind of like the end result, whether it just wasn't what we planned for, it didn't work out the way we thought, and different things like that. So I figured one of the things that I would do to kind of get this going was to share with you guys a little bit of my story as far as, oh, I got it working now. Yay. Okay. It's on my computer now. But my story, just as far as what I personally have been through in my life, the bad, the ugly, all that kind of stuff, and how, it's made me who I am today. And then I want you guys to comment as well as I'm talking about it, because I really want to hear how you guys have dealt with disappointment as well in the different areas. And so the way that I look at disappointment is I feel like there are 3 kind of like layers or pieces. Hi, Sandra. Thank you for joining. There are 3 layers or pieces to this. And I think that it first is, okay, so the first part of it is going to be the disappointment in a thing. So that might be a number of things for us. It might be something that you hoped for, might be a job, might be a car, it might be a business going a certain way or something within that business. It may be a relationship with someone, a lot of different things that we put our hope into, our expectations into. And then the other 2 layers of it is our disappointment in someone else and our disappointment in ourselves. So I look at it in those 3 ways because I think that depending on what it is that we are going through, it really can boil down to the way that it kind of unfolds. And so I'll give you guys just a little bit of my story, well, a lot of my story, but I really want to hear yours as well. So definitely chime in. Let me know what you guys think about certain stuff, because this is just an open discussion on how we deal with disappointment. Because I think as women, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. I know I do. I put a lot of pressure on myself. I'm literally my toughest critic. I just to no end will talk myself down so badly, and it's just all based off of the expectations or the picture that I had in my mind for what I thought something was going to be like. And it can be kind of toxic, you know? So I think for me, the way that my story basically went is I had every intention of being a musical performer. Okay, you guys. So I used to sing back in, well, I still sing all the time, but I wanted to be a professional singer. And so I used to sing all the time. I had a YouTube channel. It's still up if you ever look for it. It's still up on YouTube. But I had a YouTube channel and I would, perform on there all the time. And I basically, what I did was I had the vision of, okay, I'm going to be a performer and I'm going to go for it. I'm going to move to New York. I'm going to be this big star and the rest is history. That's it. So I decided to go to college for music because that was what I wanted to do. Luckily, my parents were very supportive of that because I know, sometimes parents just are not supportive of, quote unquote, dreams or things that could or could not happen and that kind of stuff. So in that aspect, I was really grateful for them for allowing me to do that. So I went to college for music. And about halfway through, I finally realized that I wanted to kind of shift gears a little bit and I wanted to kind of focus on the business aspect of music. So I was like, okay, I'm going to still be in the industry, but I'm going to be a big music exec. And that's what I'm going to college for. I had hopes of having a high paying salary when I finished college. Girl, okay, this is real stuff, okay? And okay, thank you for watching my videos on YouTube. They were fun to make, but yeah, and I mean, I did those covers on YouTube all the time, and I just felt like someone was going to discover me. And so then, in the meantime, I'm like, okay, I'm going to college, but I know someone's going to find me on YouTube eventually. So I still made my covers, and then I started getting into, like I said, the music business and what that all entailed and all of that. So fast forward to graduation. I graduate, and no one's knocking at the door. I had applied for all these internships that I wanted to get post-graduation. None of them worked out, and I ended up having to move back home with my family. So as a college graduate, it's very hard to swallow the fact that, okay, not only have I spent all of this money on this degree, this piece of paper that everybody wants us to have, but now I'm not doing what I thought that I would be doing. Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining, Don. I'm not doing what I thought I would be doing. I'm definitely not making the money that I thought I would be making, like Sandra was saying. And it just sucks. And so I went through this period of, dealing with that. And what ended up happening was a couple months after I graduated, I actually had got this interview set up at BET in New York. With Stephen Hill. If you guys are familiar with him, he does a lot of stuff for BET. I don't know if he still does, but at the time I know he was like dipping his hands in a lot of different things. Very big man in the industry. So I had a informational interview with him and I flew out to New York for this thing. It was like my first flight by myself and I was just so excited. I just knew this was going to be it for me. I knew that I was getting ready to take my very first steps into what I thought was going to be the launch of my career in the industry. And so, I get there, I'm excited, I'm in New York, so I'm just feeling really, really good. And this was an informational interview. So I knew going in that it wasn't any type of I wasn't interviewing for a position. I wasn't going to become something. It was really just for informational purposes, to create a connection and ultimately to maybe get some tips and pointers on the things to do next. And that's exactly what it was. But in my head, I had created this whole picture of this is going to be my big break into the industry. And, he gave me the pointers. It was amazing. I got to go to the BET offices. It was such a cool opportunity. But as we're sitting there talking, I'm asking him different questions, telling him what I'm interested in doing. I wanted to get into music publishing at the time. And I also really had an interest in becoming a song plugger, which is the people that basically pick the music that goes into the shows and the movies and stuff that we watch. And so he basically told me, he was like, that takes a lot of experience, years of experience to get to a point where you could even do anything like that. And they didn't have any internships available at the time. And basically, I left that interview just kind of feeling like, okay, so nothing came from it. I came all the way here. I had all of this hope of becoming this big music exec. I wanted to make my family proud. I wanted to make my degree mean something, to make it feel like, okay, I did go to school for something. I have something to show for this, you know, other than just this piece of paper. And it's like, you know, what is that? Oh, and by the way, guys, definitely give this video a thumbs up because I know that's something I'm supposed to say to help me get my engagement up for my channel. So if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up for me. I really would appreciate it. But yeah, so it didn't work out and I left that interview. Well, first of all, while we're interviewing, we're talking and I'm holding back my tears because at this point I'm like, okay, this is really not going the way that I thought. I literally just failed this whole thing. I flew out here and I looked like a complete fool. That's how I felt. And so this is kind of dramatic, but like I'm leaving the interview. It's drizzling, about to start raining. I had these heels on. My feet are killing me. I'm trying not to break down crying, walking back, I don't even know how many blocks to my hotel. And like the happy me that was walking there was just like, her whole spirits were crushed. Just everything. Like all the eggs that I had in my one basket, they were crushed. And if I could go back, like myself now, my mentality, who I am, if I could go in that 22-year-old body that I had at the time, I would have handled the situation so differently. I would have approached the situation so differently. But like I mentioned earlier, I feel like a lot of times the way that we approach disappointment or we approach a situation, we don't know it'll lead to disappointment. The way that we approach a situation can a lot of times set us up for how we react to it afterward. And I think if I would have went into that really thinking to myself like, okay, yeah, there's a possibility of something like that happening, but let's be realistic. You know, this is for informational purposes. Create the connection, network, follow up, things like that. But I was just so negative and the fact that it didn't go the way that I wanted it to go, that I just looked at myself as now you are a failure. Like anytime I looked in the mirror, I felt like you failed. You did not do what you set out to do. Here you are out here, you even got this degree now. You have all of this student loan debt and all you have to show for it. At the time, I was working 3 jobs. I was working at Bath and Body Works, Best Buy, and I was working at a collection agency collecting like student loans and stuff. So like what a coincidence for that. But that was what I did. And I just felt like, okay, is this really my life? And I think as a young girl, even though I really didn't want to, even though I don't know if everyone has the same experience, but I really had my life planned out for what I thought I was going to be doing. I was like, okay, and then by 25, I'm going to be so successful and this is going to be my life. That was how I felt. I had my whole life planned out, and when it didn't pan out that way for me, I was crushed. So in that space in my life, I dealt with disappointment horribly to the point where I just paused everything. I no longer cared about even pursuing the music industry because I just felt like you're not enough. You're not good enough for this. Clearly, this isn't for you. Move on. And that was just that. So what I learned from that is that a lot of times our journey that we're on, we think that our plan, the way that we have things set up, is supposed to go the way we think it's supposed to go. But what we don't realize is that there is something probably so much greater. There was a greater lesson to be learned. There was a bigger purpose that we may not even know yet of why we're going through something. And I think that that is what the whole, to me, the whole lesson of what I learned is that even though I thought that that was going to be the greatest thing to happen to me is for me to move to New York and be a singer, I have an amazing life now that I would have never pictured. And so I'll continue on with my story, but I want to read what you guys are saying. So I have several degrees and have used them, but I'm only on my 3rd career, or I'm on my 3rd career because sometimes you burn out or get bored. Your degree is will still be helpful to you even if it's not obvious at times. Yeah, so I definitely agree with that because I think that even though, yeah, you know, I didn't end up doing the whole music thing, I still love music to death. But I did end up getting a business degree as well, which has helped me so much with my own business. I never thought I would be an entrepreneur at all, which is just a whole nother thing. So I learned a lot and it has helped me quite a bit in my stationary Muse business. So I use my degree all the time. And the way things are now, time is moving so fast. Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly what you meant, Sandra, but time does move fast. And it's just like, it's crazy to even think about the fact that it will be almost 10 years ago soon. So that's even crazier to think about. But I just think that a lot of times we have a plan. You know, we are the planner community. I'm sure most of you guys are if you're watching this. And then we have the reality. So even though we set out to do all these things and we write these things down, it doesn't always come out to be that way. And I think it's just the way that we deal with that and in knowing it. And a lot of times it's just a matter of knowing, okay, like I'm just going to go ahead and go to plan B or C or Z. But we can be so paused in the failure aspect of it or the this sucks aspect of it that it takes us a while to realize like, okay, I can move past this. I can keep going. This disappointment doesn't have to stop me from what I wanted to do. It's just that wasn't the way to get there, or maybe that wasn't the way for me, but there's something so much greater for me that I just don't know about yet. Exactly. I wish I had taken more business courses. Well, it's never too late. You can always go back to school. You can always keep learning. And even online, there's so many resources nowadays. You could easily get your own freaking home degree just like sitting down doing research online. So you definitely can learn a lot about business. Sorry guys, I'm like feeling weird. Okay, so I have a degree and I'm not passionate about my field of work anymore, but I know I have something to fall back on, but I'm ready for a new adventure. See, I love that. So I think that a lot of us go through that too, where it's like we go through these different seasons where maybe you thought you were going to be into something, like you're very passionate about something in the beginning, and then as we grow and evolve and change, then sometimes it's just like, you know, maybe this just isn't what I want to do now in this new season. So I think that's exciting for you, and I hope that you find that new adventure and that it's amazing and fruitful and you're even happier than you've ever been. Turning years older and still feeling stuck. Yeah, and that's actually something. So so I'll tell a little bit more into the story and then I'll do a giveaway after this next part. So after that whole fiasco of me getting through that, the 3 jobs, whatever, I was also in this really bad relationship with a guy for about, I think, a little over a year. Horrible relationship, very emotionally abusive, very unhealthy, very unnecessary. And I decided, not just because of that, but I felt like, okay, I'm not progressing here in Ohio. That's where I'm actually from. That's where I was living with my parents. I'm not progressing in my life here, so I think I'm gonna move. And so I moved down to Charlotte to just kind of escape everything. And I had no expectations whatsoever of what could happen from this move. And I really didn't know what I was doing with my life or anything like that, but I knew I needed to get away from that guy. I needed to move out of the negative space I was in because I had kind of gotten very depressed and just all kinds of things. I just needed to change my environment. So my grandparents lived down in Charlotte. I moved down there with them. And a little bit before I moved there, this was all kind of just spur of the moment. And I'm so grateful it could work out like this because I know it can't be like this for everyone. But they were willing to let me come and live with them. And so I ended up getting on a dating app before I moved there. And I was like, okay, let me just do this and then maybe I can kind of like get to know some people before I moved there. And what ended up happening is I met my husband on the dating app, you guys. And he was in Charlotte. Well, he actually was in Jacksonville, but then he came to Charlotte. And I would have never thought that me, the person that was supposed to be big city living in New York, would be moving now to down south and I would meet my husband. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, at the time I thought the path pretty much sucked that I was on, but how much sweeter is what ended up happening for me that I was able to meet my husband. So this was the first time for me where I really was like, okay, so maybe my life isn't going to go the way that I planned, but obviously God has something better for me and I'm excited to see what is in store and all of that. So yes, it took a while for me to learn that I get disappointment. It doesn't mean that everything's over for myself. It will definitely second nature for me to retreat into my shell. Yeah, I think we all kind of go through that. I'm really bad with dealing with disappointment, especially when I was a little bit younger. I've gotten a lot better over the years, and I think that it just comes with going through it and unfortunately having to deal with some of those setbacks and things to realize that not everything is going to happen for us the way that we thought, but we only become better women because of that. All right, so I'm going to pause there for 1 second. I'm going to respond to you guys, but I wanted to do one of the giveaways. So let's do this. So just in case if someone does need to hop off, you'll have an opportunity throughout the live to do a giveaway. And also I want to say to you while you guys are on, I don't know how long this thing lasts. So for some reason it cuts me off. I'll just hop right back on. But I don't know if there's like a time limit or not. So I just wanted to point that out because I see I'm approaching 30 minutes in like 5 minutes. So I'm going to give this one away first. So it is this cute little pen. It's like a felt tip pen. This was in the last box. And then there's this little double-sided journaling card. And then we have this cute little Planner Love notebook. And all the notebooks that I'm showing tonight are lined on the inside. I don't have one right here that's open. But it's, oh, actually I do. Because I use it all the time. But yeah, it's like this. Lined on the inside. So the first giveaway, let's see. I'm going to do this one based off of something that I've said already. So this is for someone that's been paying attention. Okay, so I mentioned that I had a dream of something that I wanted to do. And one of the things that I did for this dream was I created a blank and then I hoped that someone would find me on this platform. Okay, so does anybody know what that is? A really easy one. So you can guess what that was. What did I create to try to get discovered as a singer? What did I create? YouTube channel. Okay. All right. Well, Happy Male Therapy. That's you. So, oh, and that's another thing. If you guys do end up winning, send me either you can contact me a couple ways. You can email me at Tatiana@thestationarymuse, or you can message me on Instagram DM. That will work as well on the Stationary Muse Instagram. I think there's a way to message me on here. You can even comment underneath this video or something, but just so I have a way to get like your mailing information, your email or something. So just remember, I'm going to write you down though so I don't forget. So Happy Mail. But you'll have to reach out to me because I don't think I can message you guys, which is a little bit weird to me, but I don't think I can. Okay, so I'm going to keep going in with my story and then I'll do another giveaway in a little bit. So I hope you guys are enjoying this topic. I think it's something that's very needed and important for us. Okay, so I had to train myself to keep going. I think that's huge because, yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I have something to say about that too. Something else to consider is that even if you ended up with your dream career or dream job, there may be aspects of it that you didn't expect, that you didn't align with your values. Exactly. So even though you may have to, what if for your job you might be... Yeah, that is so true. And I hope I say your name right. I'm assuming Ombre, Rainbow Family, but that is very true. I think that's another thing that we don't realize. A lot of times we question the what if, but we don't know that what if may have led us down a negative road, or we might have been miserable. Sometimes we think money will bring us happiness. That's not always the case. Sometimes we think like the hottest looking man will bring us happiness, but they don't be the case, you know. So I definitely can agree with that 100%, that yeah, you never know because you didn't go through it or you never experienced it, but at the end of the day, there's a reason why you didn't go through it. And you know, sometimes I've heard where, you know, they'll say God will steer you away from something even though we don't know what that thing is. So for that, I'm grateful. You know, like I wouldn't have my daughter. I wouldn't be home with my daughter right now. I wouldn't have met my husband. Just a lot of things that, again, I couldn't have pictured for myself, that I did. But what I wanted to say was to Happy Male Therapy. So you said you had to train yourself to keep going. My grandmother had said something to me. This was a little while ago. She told me she was proud of me. And that's when I'm kind of one of those people, I'm like a words of affirmation person. So not that I look for validation, but it always feels good when someone kind of like just gives you that extra to be like, you're doing good, keep it up. Or, you know, something like that just feels good. And so she kind of, it was one of those moments. She's a kind of a person that just says whatever's on her mind. It never really has any like rhyme or reason. But she basically told me that she was really proud of me. And one of the things she admired about me is that I keep going, even though things don't always work out for me. You know, she clearly knows my whole path of what I've been through. She's like, even though you don't always get what you thought you wanted, you never give up. And she just was like, I admire that so much about you. And I think that that's one of the main things about what I was saying, our relationship with disappointment, is that even though we go through disappointment, and even though it sucks horribly, the way that we react to it is really the bigger piece of the puzzle. Because if we wallow in self-pity, we allow for it to stop us, then we will never get to the true meaning of our lives or where we're going. And for a while, I let my dream, the fact that like it didn't work out with BET, and that I didn't become a singer, and that I went to college and all this stuff, I let that stop me for so long. And I finally had just got to a point where I'm like, okay, maybe that wasn't the path for me, but there's this like feeling inside of me that I want to start this business. I don't know why. The Stationary Muse, the name came kind of naturally. And I just felt like that was the path that I wanted to be on. And I never in a million years thought I would be an entrepreneur, that I would have my own business, that I would be making stationery. But above all, I never thought that I would get the opportunity to connect with so many women and to encourage you guys with my message, and to uplift you in the ways that I feel that I can. And so that's not something that I don't think I could have ever gotten from, maybe in certain aspects, but it just would have been very different, if at all, if I would have went down the path of what I thought I would be doing. So I definitely got a little bit off topic, but it's still on topic, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. After my daughter, I realized that I have to open to opportunities that may materialize in any form. Having tunnel vision can be confused with ambition at times. Definitely. I think that was one thing before while I was pregnant, I always try to tell myself, I'm like, okay, I cannot allow becoming a mom to stop me from what I want to do. Because even like growing up, my mom, and that's actually, this was the next story I was going to tell you guys, so I'll kind of segue into it. But before I talk about it, my mom, she was one of those women, and she still is, that really puts her all into her marriage, to her relationship. And growing up, I watched her pour her heart and soul into her marriage with my dad. And, she would go above and beyond to do all of these things for him. And she would, pour everything into us, her children. And I just would see that, like, she would never really go hang out with her friends. She never really had, like, her own thing. Like, she would do some stuff here and there, but she really was more so for her family. And I think that it's good, but it's bad at the same time, depending on how you look at it. Because I think as a mom, you have to have that thing for yourself that you can turn to other than just your husband and your children. Because, we have to have something to keep us like lifted, if that makes any sense. And so from that, I was like, okay, I want to make sure that no matter what, I always try to still continue to do what I love. I want to be an amazing mom and an amazing wife, but I know that I need to also fill my cup up as well. So from that, I wanted to get into the second piece of what I wanted to say as far as disappointment. So I mentioned earlier that I feel like disappointment is in three pieces. You have the disappointment in things. And so I kind of talked about how I was disappointed in my degree, and just the fact that my whole just hopes and dreams of what I had for myself did not pan out. And then the second piece of it is the disappointment that we have in other people. So that is an interesting story. This is true. After my daughter. Okay, let me read some more of you guys, because I want to make sure I'm getting everybody in here. The planning community, for sure, the past year has really helped me feel again. It really gave me hope. I have so much vulnerability. Weak and not in control. Sandra, oh, I love that. The planner community is really, really good. I love the fact that we all have just this common goal of, we have things we want to do. We make it beautiful when we can. But above all, we believe that at the end of the day, even though life can be rough sometimes, that we can all make things happen. And so I'm so happy that you feel that way, because I feel the exact same way about the community. Okay, and I'm glad you guys are talking. This is this kind of stuff that just makes my heart so happy and so full, because this is just what I love. So, all right, I'm going to tell you guys the next portion of this. So, the disappointment in other people. So really quickly, just a very quick history on my parents, because I'm not going to get into their personal business or anything like that. But basically, growing up, my parents had a very interesting relationship. As a young child, I really wasn't aware of all the stuff going on. You know how it is. You're kind of young. Something's kind of off, but you don't really know exactly what. Fast forward to being an adult, my parents got a divorce the year that I got married. And if you can use your imagination to what could have happened, a lot of really bad things happened in their marriage that it should have ended a while ago. But I think for some reason, because I kept seeing them work it out and they kept it going, I felt like, okay, maybe there's hope. Maybe marriage is a good thing. Marriage has the possibilities of being this great thing. And they ended up getting a divorce, like I said, the year that I got married. And so what I found was that I was very disappointed in my parents, because not necessarily because they got a divorce, but because kind of the way they just handled everything. It was just, they should have got a divorce a while ago, but they chose to handle it just sloppy. And it was very just disappointing to watch it unfold and happen the way that it did. And, as being their daughter and watching this, I know that it has nothing to do with me. I want to point that out there, because I know somebody will be like, well, it's not really the kids, but you're in the middle of it because it's your parents, and I'm an adult now at this point. So I know all of the back and forth. I know the negative things that have happened on both ends, and I just felt like I am so disappointed in you guys that you let it get to this point, especially when you knew that it was over, this time or whatever. And it's like, why did you let it get this way? And why, of course, me being kind of selfish at the time, I'm like, and why would it have to be when I'm getting married? Like that kind of thing. But, it's life, and you don't plan for things to go that way. But I see, oh yeah, so the year you got engaged, your parents got a divorce. Like, how crazy is that? It's like, okay, on one hand, you're getting ready to get married and start this new journey. But then on the other hand, it's like, okay, these people that I grew up watching be in love and be my example, now they're ending. And it's like, okay, so what I basically learned from that, and just in general, even like things in my own marriage, my husband has disappointed me before and made not so smart decisions and things like that. What I've realized about disappointment in others is that 9 times out of 10, it's not about you. It's not about me. It's about them and whatever internal battle they're dealing with, whatever life, different just things. I can't even think of the words, but there's so many things that people go through. They make those decisions, and it has nothing to do with you. It doesn't make you a bad mom. It doesn't make you a bad wife. It doesn't make you a bad friend. It just really has nothing to do with you. And as women, I think a lot of times we feel like we need to take on this burden of other people's mistakes, and we want to be disappointed, and woe is me. I'm so sad for them. And I'm sure even with, I'm a mom. She's only 1 year old, but I'm sure with being a mother, that comes with disappointment as well, as your kids maybe don't make the best decisions and things like that. But if you know that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you instill in them, or that you're being a good wife or a good friend, a good daughter, then you know that you've done your part, and that really this is now something that they need to work on, and you have to let it go. So that is really what I've learned for disappointment in other people. It's just that strictly it has nothing to do with us, but everything to do with them. So let me see what you guys are saying. Preach. I mean, it's the truth though. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it is really true. Oh, you guys are doing some good podcasts. I need to check those out because I am obsessed with podcasts. Oh, I listen to Living Over Existing and Sunday Jumpstart. Those are actually two of my faves. Another one I really like is Mallory Irvin, Living Fully. She talks about some really good topics. I'll have to share my whole list of podcasts with you guys. I listen to probably like at least 10 on a regular basis. But yeah, I love podcasts. Okay, let's do another giveaway really quick. So I'll do another notebook thing or whatever it's called. Okay, so here's this. All right, so I mentioned where I'm from during this. I think I mentioned it at some point. I hope I did. If I didn't, I'll know, because you guys will be like, what? Where am I originally from? Let's see if anybody knows. Not New York. Yeah, not New York. Let me see. Can anyone guess? Yes, Joanna was the first one. Oh my God, you guys, it's all coming in quickly. Oh, but okay, Cleveland, Ohio is even more accurate. So I have to give it to the Cleveland, Ohio, because that's, okay, thank you. Okay, so you're going to be the winner of this one. So I appreciate you so much. And I am going to just really quickly. So And I hope I say your name right. You support me so much, 100%. You always purchase from me when I have new releases. And I always want to say your name, and I just want to make sure I pronounce it right. So do it phonetically for me in the comments. So is it I See a Light? Am I saying it right? Let me know, because I really want to make sure I'm saying your name right. I talk about you all the time to my husband. I'm like, oh, she supported me again. I just appreciate you so much. So I want to make sure I pronounce your name the right way. But yes, so I will write you down for this notebook. And then you got my email and stuff, so you can just remind me. You got the mother words notebook. Let me see. Isolate. Okay. Isolate. Thank you, because I don't know, that just bothers me all the time, but I didn't know how to ask you in an email to be like, how do I pronounce your name? But I'm just so grateful for your support. I just want to just personally just say thank you, because you are one of those people that just constantly show up and show out for me. So thank you so much. Okay, so let me do another giveaway, and then I'll give the third piece of this, because I don't want to hold you guys too much longer. And then we have 3 more giveaway things. So we'll do that, and then I'll kind of wrap up our topic and stuff. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this. So we're going to do one more. So this is another one. We got the I Totally Got This notebook, and then a little pen and a journaling card. So, okay. So for this one, let's see. I recently just put up a video on my channel today. What did I decorate my planner with? You can cheat and go check my channel if you don't know. Close, but that was the video before that. The one today, Crafty Girls. Okay, it was you, Crafty Girls. Again, if you guys are winners, definitely make sure you can either email me at Tatiana@thestationarymuse. You can DM me on Instagram to remind me what you won. I'm trying to make notes, but in case I forget, be that backup person for me. But you got I Totally Got This notebook and all of that. So, okay, I'm going to do a little bit more on the topic, and then we'll do the final 2 giveaways, which are kind of the bigger ones. And then I will let you guys go for your Sunday evening. But thank you guys for making this so fun and for being on here with me. I appreciate you so much. Okay, so the last piece of the puzzle is the disappointment that we have within ourselves. And I think this is the biggest one of all, because I think that, to be honest, I know that most of us are our toughest critics. We're the hardest on ourselves. And that's just the reality of it. So what I really just wanted to touch on it is in my story of, like going to college and things not working out for me. And then the stuff with my parents and everything like that, and realizing that that really wasn't about me, had nothing to do with me, even though I can create all of these scenarios in my head of different things that had nothing to do with me as well, or just the decisions of friends, family, my spouse, different things like that has nothing to do with me, as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, So the last part of it, and I have some notes, so that's why I'm looking, because I want to make sure that I round this out the right way, is that to me, disappointment comes from a plan. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like a plan that we sit down and plan in our planners, but just like a mental plan that we have. So, you meet this man and he seems amazing. And you're just like, okay, this could be my husband. And even though you don't necessarily like write it out or anything, you just kind of have it in your mind like, okay, this could be going somewhere. Or you go to this job interview and you put all your hopes and your dreams into this interview and you want it to work out, and then they give the position to someone else. Or in my situation, where you think that you're going to go one way with your career path and your life is going to go all of this way, but it goes a completely different way. And these are all plans to where we will feel like in some capacity that we failed, or where we will feel like we gave it our all, we put all of our hope into something, only to find that we fell short of what we wanted. And it's a horrible feeling to feel. It's something that I think we constantly are going to deal with. It just will look different, but it might wear a different face. But at the end of the day, it's disappointment, And I think that the way that we approach it, I actually used to have this motto I would always say back when I was in college with my friends. I would joke around and I would always be like, no expectations, no disappointments. But I feel like that's so true, because if you don't expect anything, how can you really be disappointed? But in the reality of it is like, it's easy to say that, but I feel like as women, and maybe I'm being too broad with it, but as myself, for sure, I can say no expectations, but I always have an expectation. Even if I go into it like, okay, I literally am going to be neutral about this. Just like a perfect example, I had a launch over the summer. It was a pretty big collection launch for my business, the Live Love Inspire launch. You guys may remember. Sorry. And I didn't really go into it thinking like, oh, I'm going to sell out. But I didn't really go into it either like, oh, no one's going to buy anything. It was just kind of like neutral, you know, I wasn't really like any way about it. And it really didn't go the way I thought. And this is just like 100% me being honest, you know, I was disappointed. I was just like, ah, I put in all of this work. I hired a PR team. I did this whole launch week. I did videos. I did all this stuff, and I worked so hard to create this collection only for it to not be as successful as I thought. And even though I kind of went into it very neutral with no expectations, there was an underlying expectation in there anyway. I still felt like, okay, it would be really cool if this could happen, or ooh, it would be really nice if. And I think we can't avoid expectation. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, I always say this. Yeah, I feel like it's everybody's motto to a certain extent. Someone told me to always expect the unexpected. Exactly. And that is the thing. It's like you almost have to go in knowing that things can go a couple ways. And so that's what I was actually going to say, is that what I've started to do is when a collection launches, or when I'm approaching something new, when we're getting into a new season right now. We're in a season right now where we may be moving. Who knows? We'll see. I don't know. But I'm kind of going into it where I'm like, okay, it could go a couple of different ways, and we'll just kind of see how it goes. I'm going to just let it go, because I know at the end of the day, I've already seen a track record of I have no control over how stuff goes. So I'm going to just let it be. I'm not going to stress and all that stuff. I'm going to just approach it with, it could go a few different ways. Let me weigh out what those outcomes could be, and then I'm going to just let it fall where it does. Yeah, and then there was something else someone said. Yes, it's only human to expect something, but when I find myself doing so, I try to think differently. Exactly. And that's where we have to shift that mindset. And people say that all the time, that the mindset is what is so key to a lot of things. Because, yeah, if you go into something negatively, 9 times out of 10, it may be negative, you know? Or if you go into something positively, it could be positive, or it may still be negative, you know? You never know, but it is all about shifting that mindset. I never go into anything just completely like, oh, this is going to work out anyway, because I already know that that's just completely wrong to do. So that is basically what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I think that at the end of the day, the disappointment that we have within ourselves really just comes from the belief that we were going to go for something. We wanted something to go a certain way. It didn't. And it's about how we approach it first off. So more of like a neutral, just kind of like open to what can happen. And then realizing that if it doesn't go that way, then that just wasn't for you. And there's a reason for that. You were being protected from something that could have potentially been harmful to you. Not necessarily physically, but just in your life. It might have taken you down a different path you just really wouldn't have wanted to go down. Or that there is something so much better for you waiting. That thing that you thought was like, you put all your eggs in that basket, that this basket that you're about to get is something so much greater than you could have ever imagined for yourself. And that is really what the whole rounding out of all of this is that disappointment sucks. It's inevitable to go through, but we will get through it. And that is it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that. That was an awkward ending, but I'm kind of awkward when it comes to this stuff. So let's get into the rest of the giveaways. Again, I just wanted to say thank you guys for the support of me reaching 1,000 subscribers. This is what this whole thing was for. I'm always so nervous to go live, so I'm happy that you guys came on, because one of my biggest fears, again, and this is me with the approaching disappointment type of thing, I go in and I'm like, okay, no one's going to get on the live. It's going to be me sitting here talking to myself. So I appreciate you guys getting on. I know you could be doing a million other things. So we got 2 more giveaways to do, and they're kind of like the bigger ones, I guess. So the first one is going to be this shirt. So it's the First Come Self-Love shirt. Sizes are available from extra small to, I believe it's 3XL. So literally anyone. And let me think what we could do for this one. So, okay. So I recently, I tell my kids that failure means that you are trying. Exactly. Oh, that was the other part I wanted to say. Thank you. Just reminded me of my other thought. And as long as we are evolving, if you can look back and realize that 5 years ago, you were doing this thing, this, that, and the third, and now you are further along in your life, you're a better woman because of it, or you're a better person, then you're evolving, and that in itself should be enough for you to also realize, like, okay, maybe I am disappointed in this moment, but I've evolved, and that's something to be proud of. That's something to love myself even more for, that I'm moving forward and I'm pressing on. But yeah, I love that. Oh, you have 4 girls? Oh, I have a little girl myself. She is already a handful, so I can't even imagine having 4. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, actually, there's a good one. So yeah, all right, so this person will win the shirt. What is my daughter's name? And if you spell it correctly, then that is really gonna be a good one. So see if you guys can spell it correctly. I don't know if I ever really share the spelling that much, so it's okay if you don't spell it right. I'm gonna see if anyone spells it correctly, and if not, I'll give it to the first person. So far, nope, not the correct spelling, but her name is Emery, yes. I have one girl, 5 years old. Oh, 5 years old. Oh. So I'll give it to the person that can spell her name the closest. Let's see. It's like Jeopardy. Dun, 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 dun. Ah. There's one person here that is the closest. So I think I'm going to give it to her, but I'm going to let a couple more people come in here. Okay. So her name is Emery, and her spelling is Emerie. So Anita Ulmer, that is you. You were the closest, so you will be winning the First Come Self Love shirt. Send me a message on Instagram, or you can email me at Tatiana@Stationary Muse. Just let me know your size and your mailing address, and that goes for everybody. Make sure you send me your mailing address, and then I will get you your shirt. So congratulations to that. You were really close on the spelling. And then Joanna, you were right behind her. So you were close too. You were really close. I feel like, did you win something already? My memory is already slipping, you guys. So definitely make sure you message me if you won something, because I am going to be like, who was the winners? Okay, so the last giveaway is going to be for I was going to do $15, but I'm going to do $20 shop credit because I'm just feeling nice because this is going really good. So $20 shop credit, you can literally use it on anything. The only thing it excludes is the Live Love Inspire box. And the reason for that is because the thing that I use for the box is a little bit of like a different platform than the other regular products. And it just kind of gets into all of this extra stuff. So we won't do the box, but anything else in the shop is fair game to use the credit on. And so let me see. Yes, I won in the Fallen for Me collection. Yeah, that's right. I knew that you had just recently won something, so that's why I'm like, okay. So a lot of giveaways and stuff going on, so you guys have to apologize. You guys have to excuse me. So, okay, so the last giveaway, let's see. Maybe I'll just do the number thing. That's easy. Then I'll have to sit here and like try to figure out what to do. So let's do a number. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 30. Let me think of that number first, though. Okay, what's the number? And I don't know how many of you guys are on here, but I'll wait until it seems like a lot of people have guessed. There's somebody that's really close already. And then if somebody guesses it, then I'll stop. My allergies are so bad, you guys. Like, I just want to like, oh my gosh. I just want to pull my throat out. Okay, 30. It was 30. It was definitely 30. And let me make sure I'm pronouncing your name right as well. This is another person that always supports and is very sweet as well. Theodolinda, am I saying that right? You won the $20 shop credit, so that's cool. And you also recently won too in the Facebook group giveaway. So make sure you message me about that too, because I don't think I heard from you yet on that one. So that is the giveaways, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this topic. Again, I just wanted to share it. It was placed on my heart, and it's just all about us overcoming things. And I know I'm the first person that can be very negative about stuff, so it's just always funny to me when like I feel the need to talk about this stuff, because it's like, how are you able to deliver this message? But somehow it happens, and I'm so grateful to God that he places it on my heart to share with you guys. So thank you for joining. Oh, of course, I'm so happy I was able to share my story with you guys. I'm happy you enjoyed it. Will this be weekly? Oh, I thought about it. I'm like, should I do this more often? Well, this is my first time. Let me know. I mean, this is something you guys would like me to do. Maybe not weekly. Maybe I could do it once a month to start. I always like to kind of ease into stuff. I never want to commit too much because I don't want to like get overwhelmed. But I could maybe see it being once a month possibly. That wouldn't be bad. But okay, I'm glad I pronounced it right. I'm just really bad in general with stuff like that, so I always want to make sure, because my name is Tatiana, but I have literally been called Tidiana, Titana, Tanya. I hate people saying my name wrong, so I do not like to pronounce people's name wrong. Once a month. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I will do that. I'll hopefully I'll continue to have these good topics coming, and then you guys are more than welcome to give me topic ideas as well. But if you guys don't have any like shop related questions or just any questions from me about anything else, I'll let you go because I know it's getting late. We're almost at an hour now, which I can't even believe. It went quick. Okay, I will definitely commit to once a month. I can do that for sure. So, yeah. My daughter's name is Soraya. Always pronounced wrong. Am I pronouncing it wrong? Soraya? Don't forget about the list of the podcast. Oh, yes, you guys. Love my podcast. I don't know where to share it at. Maybe I'll share it on like IG stories. I can do that. I can share my list of podcasts on there because I listen to quite a few of them and they get me right every week. This was lovely. Have a wonderful Sunday. You have a wonderful Sunday too. Thank you for joining. All right, you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and get off. Again, if you do have any questions for me, you guys know I am... Oh, Sierra. That's a really pretty spelling, though. I like that. My middle name is Sierra, but it's spelled C-I-A-R-A. So, definitely. Email again, please. Oh, my email. Yeah, the email is Tatiana@thestationarymuse.com, and my name, T-A-T IANA, and then you can always send me a message on Instagram as well. If there's a way you can message me on here, definitely do it. But for some reason, I don't think there's a way to message on YouTube. I've never done it. So if there is, teach me something new. I would love to figure that out. But all right, I'm gonna let you guys go. I could keep rambling on here. But I'll see you guys in my next video. I'll see you on the next live. I'll announce it and all of that. But have an amazing week. I hope that it is wonderful for you guys. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.